Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And outdoors in Cleveland, it is much nicer tonight. The sun is out after the Royals took Game 1 on a frigid night last night, 6-2. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Brian Lefevre. Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery are coming up. The Royals are coming off 2 losses in Chicago, and waiting for them here was last year's Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. But when the night was over, the Royals had 6 runs on 13 hits.
A couple of the other teams in the Central have found out that the Royals are a little different this year, and now Cleveland found out last night, especially Kluber. Kluber tried to pitch the same game he did in the previous year. Wasn't the same result.
And he tried to pitch Mike Moustakas like he has in previous years, and that didn't work out. Our AT&T U-verse rewind, Mike Moustakas had a 4-hit game.
He keeps hitting like that. There'll be Moose calls all over the country. This guy, great to see the hard work pay off. He's been working his tail off in the batting cages and everything to try to improve his game so that he can help the team. And that's all he's doing in that second hole. And look at the numbers. They don't lie.
Batting average way up. RBI's down, Hud, but runs scored up because his role has changed.
It's changed, but he's answering that call that Ned put him in that 2-hole from the very beginning of the season, and it's making the rest of the lineup better and deeper. Fun to watch. Hope he can continue it.
And the Royals should not expect a drop-off tonight, going from Kluber to Trevor Bauer. He's off to a great start for the Indians and will be facing Jeremy Guthrie.
It is, whether it is Ryan Madson or Franklin Morales, Kelvin Herrera or Wade Davis, all of them putting up scoreless innings last night. Just another night for that Royals bullpen. Joel Goldberg back here at Progressive Field alongside with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, you know how important that good bullpen is, and boy, they just keep running guys out there.
Joe, a lot of times you see 4 relief guys coming into a game in the box score. You think maybe not so good things happen to the Royals, but last night 4 guys pitched. But that's been necessary a lot. The starters have averaged less than 6 innings per start. As a result, a lot of innings from the bullpen, and as you can see, they've done a great job.
Our T-Mobile Game Changer shows you exactly what a good job they have done. Monty, all of these numbers are numbers every team in baseball wishes they had. They are the best in just about every category.
Well, they're literally insane numbers. We talked about some of the individual performances last year from guys in the bullpen, but looking at this group collectively, they are putting up insane numbers as a team.
And the good news is Greg Holland threw 15 pitches off the mound in a side session today. Could be back as soon as when his DL stint ends on May 3rd. Trevor Bauer, one of the hottest pitchers in baseball, lowest opponent's batting average in the game. Can the Royals solve him? First pitch coming up next.
Uverse high-speed internet. The Uverse revolves around you. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. By your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Visit your Chevy dealer today for great prices on all the new 2015 vehicles. And by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And a look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum as we come inside Progressive Field and take a look at the Royals lineup tonight, presented by State Farm. And Ned Yost was saying before the game tonight that he really wanted to get Gerard Dyson into back-to-back games, and this would be a good spot for back-to-back games after he stole 3 bases last night, including stealing third twice. So he will hit 9th and play in right field.
Ride the hot hand. Believe it. He makes a difference.
Royals are 4-3 in a stretch of 17 consecutive games inside the division. They will play here again tomorrow night at 6:10 and then head home for that 4-game series with the Tigers. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. And then that homestand will continue with 3 more games against these Cleveland Indians. So all smiles in the Royals dugout after taking game 1 last night 6-2. And against Corey Kluber, whom the Royals have done historically very poorly against here in Cleveland. They had 6 runs, 10 hits against Kluber. And a new challenge ahead of them tonight as they face Trevor Bauer. Now, it's only 3 starts, but it's been a heck of 3 starts. 2-0, a 0.95 ERA as he does his traditional run up and down the mound with his first throw, and allowing just a 125 opponent's batting average.
So far, so good. However, he's going to have to go through a pretty good hitting lineup in the Royals. He knows it, and the Royals know it. This kid, he's got 7 different pitches. When you think about it, you add them all up. But one of the problems with him is sometimes he uses too many of them. When you have a fastball 91 to 97, you know, that's a great pitch. He's also got a hard curve and a great sinking changeup that he has a lot of confidence in. There's some of them right there, but on that fastball, he'll cut the fastball, he'll sink it. So he's got a lot of different ways that he can get hitters out, but he's going to stay with the main 3, fastball, hard curve, and changeup.
And he will pile up the strikeouts, but he will also need his defense. And the Indians' defense really struggled last night. They committed 3 errors, which led to 2 unearned runs.
Yeah, Brett Hayes is in there. Nice to see him make a big league club. And he's got a little pop in his bat.
Royals presented him yesterday with his American League championship ring as he played 27 games for the Royals last year. And a reminder, as you enjoy tonight's game and you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And last night it was Mike Moustakas with his first 4-hit game since 2013. It is already his 3rd game with 3 or more hits this year, and he didn't do that at all last year. He only had 2 games of 3 or more hits.
Yep. See if he can stay hot against Bauer. 7 out of the 9 Royals hitters that Ned's sending up there all have at least 1 hit off of Bauer in their careers. The most at bats are 8 by any one hitter, and that's Salvador Perez, who's 1 for 8.
Alcides Escobar was hitless last night. In fact, he was the only Royal without a base hit.
So that pitch there, as they go on, maybe 2nd, 3rd time through, they're going to be looking at that first pitch fastball for strikes.
Hit sharply to 3rd, where Chisenhall blocks it and throws out Escobar. So the game tonight begins with a good defensive play by the Indians defense.
Batting second for Kansas City, the 3rd baseman, number 8, Mike Moustakas.
And another look at the Royals lineup and what they have done in the past against Trevor Bauer. And as HUD said, no one with more than 8 at-bats. Mike Moustakas with 2 hits against Bauer. And here we go. Here's the adjustment already by Cleveland defensively. They have the shift on Mike Moustakas, but it is a very slight shift.
That's right. You know what? He's wearing defenses out early.
And he goes the other way. Nice easy swing. So he has 5 hits in 1 game and 1 at bat.
Man, oh man, that's a great way to start the day. He's hot as he was last night. Kept it simple, waited for it, didn't try to turn on the ball to hit it out. And really, this is a launching pad for left-handed hitters. Only 325 down the right field line. Boy, it's just making him much more dangerous. You can see that. What a difference a year makes in an off season.
There are some shadows to deal with the earlier start time, as Lorenzo Cain, who was 1 for 5 with a run scored, steps in.
I talked with Escobar about the shadows, and he said it's not as easy as it is when it's all dark out there, but he said the White Sox, playing the White Sox was worse. He said you couldn't hardly even see when they had that shadow that creeped out there in front of the batter's box, but it's not as bad here.
Lorenzo has hit in 5 straight. The Royals just need to get some runners in scoring position in front of Lorenzo Cain. He has just 1 RBI in his last 9 games. Hit well toward right center. Michael Bourne over from center field, 2 down. After some exhaustive research by our guys in the truck, we just showed you Mike Moustakas already has 15 hits to left field this year. Last year he had 11.
That is shocking. Well, the main difference is because he started out 0 for 21 and he pressed. That's what hitters do when you try too hard. You want to get out there and pull it. Takes you out of your game.
Pitching out, thinking that Mike Moustakas might run. But unless they thought the Royals were going to try and hit and run.
It's possible. Bauer, he's a pretty good athlete. He's got a decent move to first, but he's going to get the ball home fairly quickly at times. Fairly quick.
Eric Hosmer last night had 2 hits. He drove in a run, he scored a run, and he walked again. And Trevor Bauer and the Indians are paying very close attention to Mike Moustakas.
Another trait of hitting in second in the lineup. Guys that hit at the top, usually the first 2, are guys that can run. So just kind of like the respect that Moose is getting.
Into right field, and that's down for a base hit. So Hosmer has 3 hits in the series. Runners at first and second for Kendrys Morales.
Ball got in on his hands a little, but you know what, he was able to muscle it out there. Good level swing.
Morales was 1 for 5 in game 1 and has now hit safely in 17 of the Royals' first 19 games. Pickoff play second base. You'll have to remember to ask Moustakas before the game tomorrow night, when was the last time somebody paid that much attention to him on the bases in 1 inning?
I will.
A pitch out and then 2 pickoff attempts, one of them at second base.
But he's got to feel good about that.
Grounded to Santana. He'll come to the bag and get Morales. 2 hits, 2 left. Royals scoreless against Bauer. The Indians are coming up against Jeremy Guthrie when we come back. last night. The Royals took game 1 6-2, and many have picked the Indians to not only get to the postseason but go deep into the postseason. But they are off to a 6-12 start and having a lot of problems on offense in the first few weeks. Jose Ramirez, who batted 9th last night, will bat 2nd tonight, and with Jeremy Guthrie on the mound, Terry Francona is able to get his left-hand bats in there. Brandon Moss, David Murphy, and Lonnie Chisenhall against the former Indians first-round pick. Jeremy Guthrie was the Tribe's first-round selection back in 2002 out of Stanford. Kia puts us in the driver's seat. Guthrie last pitched on Wednesday against Minnesota and tied a career high with 6 walks. Had some trouble with his command in the early innings and was throwing a lot of curveballs, sliders, and changeups, and Minnesota wasn't going for him.
Yep. Too many, if you ask pitching coach Dave Eiler. Too much off-speed stuff.
Hosmer to a knee and to Guthrie for the first out. A lot more experience for the Indians against Guthrie than the Royals have against Bauer. So Kipnis has been a thorn in his side, but Guthrie gets him on a ground ball to first base. Carlos Santana and Brandon Moss and Lonnie Chisenhall, who will all bat left-handed against Guthrie, have had quite a bit of success in the past.
Yep, they've homered off him, and that'll be his biggest challenge tonight. I'm sure he'll stay away from the walks. I mean, you'd hope he's not going to walk 6, but he's going to trust that fastball. Last outing, he was 92 to 94 with that pitch, and that's a really nice pitch. It's an above average fastball at 93. I mean, Guthrie at his age is in great shape. He's extremely bright, and sometimes that can be a fault for him. He'll overthink, he'll overanalyze. So we're having 2 starters tonight going against each other that are very similar. They're both cerebral, very highly intelligent. Sometimes that'll backfire. Keep the game simple. It's hard for hitters to hit fastballs that move. Guthrie's got a good 2-seamer, 4-seamer upstairs, occasional sliders and changeups. That's how you do it. Try to keep it simple.
Two and 2 on Ramirez. He was hitless in 3 at-bats last night.
You know, I got to play for Terry Francona his first and second years as a manager in the big leagues with the Phillies. And I've been in a few meetings that he's held. And he's probably a little bit different now, I would expect, with all the experience he's gained with a couple of world titles. But I can tell you, it was positive. It was reinforcing the positive. Hey, he wasn't chewing anybody out. He's a very upbeat manager who sticks by his players.
Ooh, look at the movement on that pitch. Ramirez was jumping back toward the first base dugout, and the late movement catches the inside for the second out.
Just like I thought he would be using that fastball. Talked about the movement and how difficult that pitch is to hit. That's a beauty. Ramirez, he's got to go.
And now the Royals defensively, presented by Ford. Gerard Dyson is back in right field. Ned Yost hinted that we may see Paulo Orlando back in right tomorrow, as Danny Salazar, the Indian starter tomorrow, can be very tough on left-hand batters. And Brantley strokes it into right center field, and one hops the fence. And was that a nice, easy stroke?
Yep, he's got it all. He's got a silver bat to go with it. 5th double on the year. Nice and easy, doesn't overdo it. Hardly strides at all. Trusts his hands. Stays inside the ball.
I've heard you many times, Hud, talk about Eric Hosmer and his front foot, how he needs to get that front foot down. Michael Brantley does something that very few major leaguers do, and you mentioned a small stride, but he actually strides very early. It's almost like a premature slide just to get that front foot down. It's like a stride, and then everything kind of stops for a brief second, and then the rest of the body follows.
Very fluid. Every hitter has his own little way to do it. But that front foot, it really is the lead. It's like the bit in a horse's mouth for a hitter. He's got to be able to stop himself. Okay, he's coming a little bit early. Yeah, you're right. He's touching down a little bit sooner than normal, but he's able to continue to keep his weight back and has tremendous balance.
Off speed, pulled to first. And for the second time in the inning, Hosmer connects with Guthrie. Guthrie gets around the Brantley double. No score at the end of one. Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, and Omar Infante coming up in the second inning. Royals scored 6 runs last night. Alex Gordon had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And remember last year, and really the year before that, the Royals, when they would get to 4 runs or more, it was almost a guaranteed win. Well, so far this year, if they get to 3 runs or more, they're in great shape. 13-2. 12-1 when it's 4 or more runs. Alex started the year 1 for 16, but since then he's hitting .359.
Over 5 against Bauer in his career. I tell you, Ryan, you gotta love the way management, Ned Yost and his coaching staff, worked Alex in. After the wrist surgery, they knew way ahead of time, look, this is our guy. In order for our team to click, he's got to be healthy. So we're not going to even play him the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of spring training. He'll have time, but we want to make sure he's good and ready. They eased him in. Oh, my.
How far will it go? Alex Gordon clears the bleacher seats in right field. It is his 3rd home run of the year, and it's the 1st home run allowed by Bauer. That was almost as loud as the cannon blast after the Star-Spangled Banner.
So these Royals, they want to send Bauer to the shower. They hit him hard in that first inning. This is a cookie at 89 right down the middle. And look at the follow through. That's Will Clark-esque. Will Clark, back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, he had one of the most beautiful. Actually, hitters called it pretty. It's the prettiest swing you'll ever see. You don't hear ball players use that word, but that was pretty.
428 feet. Now that's where the ball landed. If this was in an open field and that thing got all the way back down to field level, it would have been quite a bit farther than 428. You know, there are some who try and estimate home run distances. 428 from Alex's bat to the concrete where it landed in the concourse, but some try to estimate if there was no stadium and it got back down to ground level exactly how far it would go, and that would have been 450, 460.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to predict, but most hitters will tell you whether it's a tape measure or it scrapes the back of the wall coming down, it's all the same.
Moss comes up in right field to take care of Sal. 1 out.
But for the fans and for us, man, you'd love to see how far it goes. I thought that had a chance for the second tank here.
So did I. So Bauer had gone 20 innings to begin the season without allowing a home run. And you can see the vendor there with the bright yellow shirt, and where he's about to walk is where Alex's ball landed. I don't know if I've seen one go that far before in this ballpark.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. We've seen Alex hit some bombs. One that sticks out in my mind was the one in Minnesota he hit maybe a year ago. Maybe it's been 2 years now. But he went way out of the ballpark.
Infante pulls it to Chisenhall. Shows off his strong arm. 2 down. Remember, Royals fans, the next time you're looking for great seats, get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right, on StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. Every ticket, every day. Plus, with the StubHub app, you can buy and sell Royals tickets anytime, anywhere, right from your smartphone. And while some tickets might be harder to come by at home this year, use that StubHub app to come watch the Royals on the road this summer.
StubHub. Dyson does not want to bunt those pitches up. Just for that reason.
Oh, he's fortunate that he bunted it there where neither Santana nor Hayes could get to it.
Yep. That's exactly why you lay off of those. He laid off. He spit on the first one, and the second was the identical pitch. Because it's really hard to get the barrel of the bat on the top of the ball when it's elevated like that at that velocity. Great effort. See a little hesitated step back there at Costa.
Tyson last night 1 for 4, a run scored, and 3 stolen bases. Fooled badly by a changeup or a splitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now Bauer, for a young pitcher, has very good command with his changeup. He's a confident guy with it. He'll throw it 2-3 times in a row sometimes.
1-0 Royals on Alex Gordon's home run. Alex kind of flexing that wrist, but he was flexing some muscle leading off the second inning. His 3rd home run of the year, and the Royals strike first tonight.
He coordinated all over that one.
He did what? Royals lead 1-0 on Alex Gordon's third home run of the year. And Jeremy Guthrie will get 3 left-hand batters in the second inning. Brandon Moss, David Murphy, and Lonnie Chisenhall. Moss was not in the starting lineup last night as the Royals started Jason Vargas, but he was in by the 6th inning and went 0 for 2.
Tell you what a big difference in first inning pitches. Last outing for Guthrie, he threw 32 pitches in the first inning.
Escobar charges and throws it off the screen in front of the Royals dugout, so that saved a base. Well, Moss will stay put at first.
Very awkward angle for Escobar to come in on that play. He's not used to that angle. From shortstop, he makes that play. But watch how he comes in from the second base angle. He's coming in a totally different angle. That throw is a lot different. You got to start the throw up the line a lot sooner. Now, he's got trusty hands. He can pick it, but that's totally different.
And he's also used to having to put more on that throw when he's charging in. So it's a single for Moss. Now ball 1 to David Murphy.
Anyway, only 13 pitches in the first inning for Guthrie tonight, and I said 32 in his last outing. What a difference.
A little bit outside. Murphy, like Moss, was not in the starting lineup, but came on in the 6th inning when the Royals went to the bullpen and was 0 for 2. And hits it out to Alex in left field, who runs into the sunlight to bring it down. Here's tonight's University of Kansas Hospital injury report. And good news for 2 Royals. Greg Holland made 15 pitches off the mound today, and the reports were good. There is a hand specialist here in Cleveland that teams all around the league will use. So the Royals here in Cleveland had Alex Rios get an x-ray on his left hand, and that hand specialist took a close look at it, and all is moving forward. Moss stops at second base after the base hit by Chisenhall. So 2 on, 1 out. And Ned Yost was sharing that for Alex Rios in about 5 to 7 days. He can start squeezing a tennis ball or something like that. So start working on some strength exercises on that broken left hand.
It's great news.
Broken left pinky, or the bone below his pinky on his left hand.
Moss thought about going to third base, but then he remembered, I don't think I'm going to try that because that guy is great. He's the greatest defenseman there is in the American League. I'm not going to try it. So Guthrie's job now with that 2-seamer is to induce a ground ball double play. He did that successfully 21 times last season. So Guthrie's good at it with that pitch right there. That little 2-seamer on the corner, change-ups, breaking ball, anything going down.
Brett Hayes hits it out to Infante, and no chance for a double play. And now Guthrie will get Michael Bourne. Here's tonight's league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City Toyota dealers. Earned run average, and the Royals lead the American League by a pretty wide margin over the Astros. The Astros off to a good start on the mound.
Interesting.
A.J. Hinch is their new manager, who has spent some time with the Royals. Chisenhall is the runner at first, and in front of him, Brandon Moss. Michael Bourne went from 2011 until 3 games ago, batting leadoff every single time he was in a lineup. And now 3 consecutive games where Bourne has batted either 8th or 9th. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just 4 for 20 off of Guthrie. Scuffling, he's not the first guy to do it. It's hard when you get off to a bad start to catch up, you think, but really just try to eliminate the thinking and go up and see it hit it. That's what Ty Van Berkeley told me about him, their hitting coach.
Still 1-2.
Paralysis by analysis sets a lot of players back and sometimes keeps them in a hole.
Jeremy Guthrie is bilingual after a missions tour to Spain in college, and I've asked him and Salvador Perez more than once, when you talk on the mound, do you speak in English or Spanish? And both of them kind of stare up into the sky for a moment and say, I don't know.
It's interesting. It is.
2 balls, 2 strikes. So whatever language they use, as long as they get a point across. Sal wants him to shake off a sign.
Guthrie in his last start, he hurt himself by trying to pick off play at second. 2 outs here, let it go and get the hitter.
And the ball gets through Sal, allowing Moss to go to third and Chisenhall to second. That's something you don't see very often. And Sal's reaction appeared to be one of surprise that the ball got through him.
Nope, he's great at it. Sometimes comes up, so not able to get his glove down, but now just puts a little pressure on Guthrie to execute a pitch here, 3-2.
It is ruled a wild pitch. And Bourne pulls it into right field. That'll score 1 run. Coming around second is Chisenhall. He will score. So the slumping number 9 hitter Michael Bourne drives in 2 to put Cleveland in front.
Tribe makes that wild pitch pay. That's exactly what you do. Fastball stayed up. Bourne didn't try to do too much, just kept it simple, see it and hit it. And he was able to place it in the hole.
Sal able to block this one on pitch to Jason Kipnis, who is 0 for 1. Kipnis has done quite well against Jeremy Guthrie. Guthrie got him on a ground ball to first in the first inning. Trying to keep the ball down on him. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Bourne runs. Bourne is safe. Good throw by Salvador Perez, but Bourne got a good jump off of Guthrie.
What a nice transfer. That ball was down too. That's another pitch a base runner wants to go on. See, that ball was just in the dirt, but still Salvi's. His transfer is impeccable, isn't it? From glove to hand. Perfect throw. He stole that on Guthrie.
And, you know, he has no time to get the grip that he wants to. I mean, who knows what that grip was like in his hand, but standing up while he's reaching down and still threw the ball right where he wanted to Infante.
It's incredible. his hand-eye coordination. His footwork.
Now Kipnis walks, setting up Guthrie and Jose Ramirez. So the Indians have had 4 base runners in the inning. Guthrie has 1 strikeout, and that was against Ramirez. Maybe his best pitch of the night when he got Ramirez looking at a tailing fastball. This time he throws him a breaking ball, and Kane is there in shallow center field to put an end to the inning. The Indians take the lead for the first time in this series on the 2-out, 2-run single by Michael Bourne.
Today about a man he called one of the best teammates ever, and that would be Kirk Gibson. They, of course, played on the 1984 World Champion Tigers. There's that video we always show of Rusty and the sacrifice fly in the deciding game. Some really concerning news and one that shocked the baseball world today. Kirk Gibson announcing that he has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. This is one of the toughest players of all time and a really good friend of Rex Hudler's, and we've watched the two of them visit over the years. And you know, talking to Rusty about this today, he said, man, we're all getting old, but he seems too young. And there we saw a few years ago Hud visiting with Kirk Gibson in that interview. But Rusty saying one of the best teammates I've ever had, and using a Hud term, he said he was the driver. If the bus wouldn't start, he pushed it. He was the inspiration every single day when we couldn't get things going. And so I know all the baseball world sending best wishes to Kirk Gibson. And Hud, I got to think you know him a lot better than we do, that if anybody's going to fight this thing full on, it's Kirk Gibson.
He will, and it's always sad when we hear anybody that gets a disease like that. But the medical field has a lot of good medication for that disease. That's the good thing. And we'll see if we see him on this strip of the Tigers. He's broadcasting for the Tigers this year, so we'll see.
I think that was where, Ryan, the alarm started, was that, you know, he hasn't been able to be in the booth, and people were just wondering, is he okay? What's going on? And so there was a little bit of confirmation today that indeed something was right, because again, as we all know, Kirk Gibson's the guy that shows up to work every day, whatever he's doing.
Great athlete, you know, before Bo Jackson, Kirk Gibson might have been able to be that type of a player. He opted to play baseball only, but he was also an excellent college football player at Michigan State. And having played in the Big Ten, I can tell you, and I don't know if all these stories are true or not, but every city we would go to in the Big Ten, every campus we go to in the Big Ten, there would be some story of where Kirk Gibson once hit one for Michigan State. He had that kind of reputation. Alcides Escobar takes a walk. And Bauer, even though he has been off to a great start this year, he will walk hitters. He is walking better than 1 every 2 innings. And right after his team gives him the lead, he walks the leadoff man.
Coming in 19 innings in his 3 starts, he's had 11 walks. So that command can be an issue for him. But nice to see Escobar start the inning with a walk. See if they now try to pound Moose inside.
They did and missed inside.
Get a guy who's red hot and he's using the opposite field. Lots of times they'll just try to pound you inside. Sometimes you do the hitter a favor. Talk about the fact that you go to the opposite field, you're seeing the ball longer. It helps you with the long ball. You turn on it, you see it better. I guarantee you Moose is looking in there. He's looking inside.
Two and one, and he took a swing like he was anticipating a pitch inside.
You can feel it. You know what's happening, especially as hot as he's been last night and tonight. Escobar 2 for 3 in steals. He'll run. That's going to get Moose some more fastballs.
Just foul. And again, coming inside, and Moustakas got around on it. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com. And you'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. With his first inning single, Mike Moustakas is 5 for 6 in this series.
Jerry Meals over there, the sun's in his eyes. You wonder how he saw that ball hit so hard right over that bag. But looks like on the replay it was foul.
Now Escobar runs, and Moustakas hits it very high to right field, but that'll be back in the crowd.
This is an extremely hot hitter here they're messing with, and if you make a half-inch mistake on the inner half, Moose is going to put 2 on the board.
There's really no place to pitch him right now.
No, you're better off taking your chances with a fastball down, let him hit it on the ground somewhere, but throw a strike to him, because you got the meat of the order coming up. You don't want to walk him. Be careful inside; he'll take you deep.
Tied him up. He got it in enough.
Good pitch.
1-6-3 double play. I was going to say, maybe the only way to get Moustakas out right now is make a pitch that is not in the strike zone. That might have been inside and out of the strike zone.
Executed a nice pitch.
And so Bauer gets Kane with 2 down, nobody on. Lorenzo flied to center in the first inning. Royals scored their run in the second on Alex Gordon's home run. And then Michael Bourne drove in 2 in the bottom of the second with a single. Jerry Meals says no swing. 3-0. Three and one.
See how he took a little off that fastball at 88? He wasn't sure if Lorenzo was swinging, and I'm glad he didn't. There's nobody on base. Take your walk.
Brantley brings it down in left field, so Bauer, thanks to the double play, is able to work around the leadoff walk. Cleveland leads 2-1. Lines. Order online with rapid pickup at delivery.panerabread.com. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com. Look at the new renovated area out in right field, right center. Progressive field. And it feels almost like summer compared to last night. Last night the game time temperature was in the mid-40s, but the wind was coming in off the lake. Hardly any wind at all tonight. The sun is out and 54 degrees at first pitch. And we understand we have some beautiful weather waiting for us in Kansas City. Two and one on Michael Brantley. There's his dad, Mickey Brantley, who was a big league outfielder and for a while a major league hitting coach.
That's right. Presently, he has a hitting school in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I got a chance to talk to him in the stands today during batting practice. Oh, my. Oh.
Wow. That ball almost pinned Alcides Escobar to the center field wall.
And if Escobar doesn't catch it, maybe Kane does on the fly. That ball was a line shot. Man, look at that. That'll tell you how quick that ball moves out there. Guthrie, he ducked, and Escobar Good reaction. Real time. Here it is. What a nice stroke.
Didn't you find out that in addition to many other things that Michael Brantley is a good golfer too? I can see why after that swing.
Yeah. Talking to his dad, I said, what was he like raising him? And he said, I took him everywhere I went and played when he was old enough to be on the field, and he hit, and all the players loved him. He was young and little, but I never had to push him. He did everything on his own. He was just a natural athlete. He could play all the sports, and he's a scratch golfer, even in the wind in Florida. And, his dad played parts of 4 years with the Mariners and coached for the Giants, Mets, and Jays. I mean, he had a nice career, but he's really proud of his son and that silver bat he won last year.
One on, one out for the Indians in the third inning. Coming up at Kauffman Stadium, a special day, Sunday, May 17th, and for just $25, you can enjoy a brunch that is going to help support the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. It's an event complete with live jazz music, a full brunch buffet, a custom pair of Monarchs and Royals socks, and a $5 donation will be made to the museum. But keep in mind, your voucher does not grant you access to the game. Royals.com/NLBM to reserve your spot.
Moose was playing over there at third base, and then he got the signal from Mike Jershely, the infield instructor of the Royals, to move over. And now Moose is now in that spot right there. He's playing Moss with a full shift. Guthrie, much better tempo tonight. Trusting his stuff. Using the fastball changeup combination. That's working for him.
Santana runs. He is out.
Thank you.
Wouldn't expect Carlos Santana to take off, but he was 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts.
Really good takeaway too, but Salvi just so strong, that forward lean he's got. What a cannon. Over the top throw. Right on the money, honey. Escobar, nice tag. Ooh, tied him up.
He's had better swings than that. Guthrie has his second strikeout. And the third inning is history. Cleveland leads 2-1.
Not nice and loud.
Sundays at Kauffman Stadium have something for your whole family. And prior to every Sunday home game, Family Fun Day will feature face painters and balloon artists, an entertaining DJ, and player autographs atop the Royals dugout. And the fun doesn't stop there, because after the game, kids age 14, or rather under 14, can run the bases during the Skippy Fun Run, and the first 500 kids now get a Skippy t-shirt. And our next one is coming up this Sunday against the Tigers. Final game of a 4-game series.
This young man, Trevor Bauer, he's only 6'1", 190. He's not like he's a big guy, but he's really generates a lot of torque on his arm. He uses his lower half very well. Very compact delivery, not quite as smooth as Giordano Ventura, who we'll see tomorrow, but this kid has a nice future ahead of him. Very focused.
Michael Bourne waits for it and puts it away. Eric Hosmer's 1 for 2.
I mean, you know, he's a cerebral guy, you know, very smart. I mean, this spring training, he built a drone from scratch, you know, one of those little drones that fly over everywhere. I mean, you know, he didn't go out and buy one, he built one. I mean, he's a smart guy. You see how he does his little warm-ups here, and before his first toss, before his warm-ups every inning, he gets behind the mound and runs up and throws it. I mean, this guy's a little bit different as far as the way guys prepare, but a very high ceiling for his future, especially with that pitch right there, that changeup.
One of those stories where you really have to ask yourself, was he truly born to play baseball? Was he made to play baseball? Kendrys Morales is on with a 1-out single. Stories about Trevor Bauer playing long toss when he was 10 years old, and he and his father reading about how pitchers in Cuba would throw coconuts, water-soaked coconuts, to build up their arm strength, or how Nolan Ryan used to drive nails into baseballs and softballs to make them a little bit heavier to build up arm strength, and studying biomechanics in high school, figure out how he could be more powerful, more efficient with his pitching mechanics.
He has an engineer mind and mentality. I read a story about him. He didn't have many friends, I guess, that would play catch with him. That's a balk. We'll have to see what he did. Morales, he'll take an easy base.
Andy Fletcher is the home plate umpire.
Oops.
He forgot that he was pitching out of the stretch.
He did. He was thinking too much, maybe.
Well, you brought that up a couple of innings ago, that intelligence comes in handy in this game, and yet it can be taken too far. I remember the first major league manager I was around every day was Tom Kelly. And Tom Kelly, at times, when a player was really heady, would use his intelligence too much, he would say, sometimes the mind can be a terrible thing. Meaning, you know, it's good to have information and some intelligence, but then once a game starts, you want your physical instincts to take over.
Reaction. Fast twitch fibers. 3-0, green light him.
So you're saying when he's a kid,
he would take a bucket of balls and he would throw them across the park. He didn't have anybody else to play catch with, so he would throw them all the way across the park, the whole bucket. Go over, pick them, put them back in the bucket, take them back, and he did long toss to strengthen his arm.
All by himself.
Yeah. So look, you know,
kind of sad.
If you kids at home don't have a friend or don't have anybody in your neighborhood, don't let that stop you. Just have mom and dad go get you a bucket of balls. Nice walk. After the homer, Bauer wanted no part of Gordon.
So forget about a pet rock. You can have a pet bucket.
That's exactly right. And it could end up paying you heavily. Good money. He's focused. His kids always wanted to be a pitcher. Let's see if Salvi can get another run on the board here.
He has Morales at second and Gordon at first.
I've noticed this inning with the walk, with the walk and the balk, his tempo is changing. He's thinking a little bit much, and hitters can feel that. They're like, okay, he's not real confident about us. Let's get him.
Just got underneath it. Infield fly rule is called. 2 down. Sal is 0 for 2.
Now stepping in for Kansas City is number 14.
Bauer is out of UCLA. And in 2011, he was the Golden Spikes winner. That's the same award that Alex Gordon won at the University of Nebraska. That goes to the #1 college baseball player in the nation. He was in a starting rotation with Garrett Cole.
Oh, man.
At UCLA.
How could they not win a championship with those two guys?
Fastball in there to Omar Infante. He grounded out to third in the second inning.
Cole's a rock star for the Pittsburgh Pirates, isn't he?
Garrett Cole was a first overall pick. Trevor Bauer was a 3rd overall pick. Base hit center field for Infante. Here comes Morales around third. Bourne's throw is cut off. And the Indians have Alex Gordon in a rundown, but the Royals tie the game.
Very nice. After a balk and a walk, how about a knock?
No smiles for Toronto. The Blue Jays in last place, and getting some bad news. Jose Reyes has been playing through a rib injury, cracked ribs, and finally saying last night, it's not getting any better. Let's head to the DL. And one of many DL stints now for Reyes. You remember this gruesome injury in Kansas City back in 2013 ended up being a high ankle sprain that put him on the shelf. This is a pretty durable guy. I mean, he's now, though, lately had some bad luck. 3 DL stints in the last 3 years, 5 in the last 5. Before that, he had only been on 2 in the previous 6. So Jose Reyes, one of those spark plugs in the game, guys. But as the Blue Jays look to try to make some kind of run with a lot of talent in the American League East, they'll lose one of their top players.
You know, we are taught and reminded every year by our bosses to not speculate on injuries, and that night was an example why. I would have bet my house that his ankle was broken, and it ended up being a high ankle sprain. I mean, that, as Joel said, it was a gruesome injury. Somehow his ankle stayed in one piece, and he was able to come back later that season, but oof, brings back some, makes my stomach queasy again just watching those replays.
Yeah, I couldn't look at him. And that was the first year he joined the Blue Jays. That was a big injury at the time. And, you know, cracked rib, there's nothing you can do except just get some time off and stop swinging the bat for a while for those to heal. They don't put you in a brace or anything for that.
And Joel said that he was playing with it for a while. I don't think it bothered him fielding. I don't think it bothered him throwing. I think he could hit from one side of the plate.
It's awfully early in the season to have a nagging injury like that to carry on throughout the year. Might as well, you know, get it well.
Seeing right now, I mean, we're starting to see so many pitching injuries over and over again. Guys going down left and right. Brandon McCarthy, the latest. He's going to have Tommy John now. So, you know, I guess if you're the Blue Jays, get it fixed, and there could be a lot worse situations out there. Although, doesn't it seem, guys, and this is, I know, a rib injury, not a leg injury, we're seeing so many of the speedsters nowadays dealing with hamstring injuries and, you know, calf injuries and all that kind of stuff. Something that, you know, the Royals have dealt with Lorenzo Cain, and he's been able to avoid that kind of stuff. But so much more of it in the game now.
Hosmer will go to the bag himself. What do you think, Hud? Cold weather, a lot of standing around in the outfield, and then having to run full speed. Is that the hamstring culprit?
Yeah, no question about it. Weather plays a big part of it. Also, you know, conditioning and loosening up properly. And, you know, you can wear sleeves around your quadriceps. You know, the rubber sleeves that keep your muscles warm inside, because those can nag you the whole year.
Breaking ball for a strike to Chisenhall.
Guthrie's back to being the old Jeremy Guthrie. Like his rhythm. I like what he's doing. He's mixing his pitches, but he's not overdoing it like he did his last time out.
Chisenhall singled, and he, along with Brandon Moss, scored on Michael Bourne's two-run base hit to put Cleveland ahead. And then the Royals just tied it in the top of the fourth on Omar Infante's base hit. To right field, down around the end of the bat. Dyson makes a one-hand grab, 2 down. Well, Tuesday isn't normally everyone's favorite day of the week, but it is at Kauffman Stadium for T-shirt Tuesdays, and that'll start a week from today when the Royals host these Cleveland Indians. Be one of the first 10,000 fans and celebrate Cinco de Mayo in style with a Los Reales shirt, courtesy of Teva. That's a 7:10 game. The gates will open at 5:30, and you want to get there early for a T-shirt Tuesday. Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday, or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Brett Hayes lined to Infante at second base in the second inning. He is 1 for 8 this year with a home run. Home run distance, but foul. What did Monty call that last night?
Chinese home run.
Chinese. Look at this guy. He was determined to get that ball, tumbling and rolling over the seats. 1-2 on Hayes.
This guy. Whoa. Oh, man, he lost his cell phone.
Oh.
I wonder if he knows about that.
Totally ditched his drink,
And
too.
his cell phone dropped out of his pocket in the first row. See if he's going to look for it.
And I tell you what, with stadium prices, that drink might be more expensive than that baseball was.
Yeah. Well, wait till he gets a call on his cell phone and he hears it somewhere, but he doesn't have it. Because
somebody needs to call that guy so he can find his cell phone.
Okay, let's there. Look at that, folks. Look at that right there. There's the phone. You know how important everybody's phone is. Okay, he didn't even know it. All he wanted was that baseball. I totally understand him. I'd do the same thing, but you're right, Rhino.
But then I'll watch the drink. Forget it. I don't need the drink.
That's a beautiful thing.
Look at. And he was like the Texas Rangers signing.
He's going back to pick up his phone now. He's looking.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was like the Texas Rangers signing Alex Rodriguez, competing with nobody.
Glad Salvi's okay here in the meantime while we're having a good time up here. It kind of rung his bell a little bit there. See, Salvi has a hard time sometimes when the batter swings, he puts his head down. This is something that when Chino Katahia was here back in 2012, tried to get him away from ducking his head on contact. And here we are all these years later. He still has a hard time doing it. Look at Guthrie.
That is his third strikeout. But the best part about this inning, well, students come out to Kauffman Stadium on Wednesday nights for Student Night and Local Music Showcase presented by Inc. Magazine. You can mingle with friends or a chicken. You can enjoy food and drink specials exclusively for students in the outfield experience while listening to live music from local Kansas City bands. And a week from tomorrow, music featuring Gracie Schramm.
Like them. They're great.
Gracie Schramm, they were there last year,
right? They brought them back. That's how good they are.
One and one to Dyson. Gerard struck out in the second inning against Bauer. That's out of play.
I knew it'd just be a matter of time before he missed his phone. So he said, somewhere in the action, when I hopped that rail like Superman to get that ball, I lost my phone. And he did. He's hunting it down. Yeah. Found it. There it is. Is it working?
Do you think he even remembered he had a drink in his hand before all that happened? That kick's foul.
Certainly. I mean, it was more than half full.
I mean, it's one thing for a guy, somebody drops their drink or gets knocked over. I mean, he just totally disregarded the drink.
Gotta love it. Now, you wonder if he came by himself. He's all, he's standing there all alone, watching a Tribe game.
Now all he needs is a bucket. Can't beat fun at the old ballpark, can you?
Never. It's never a bad day at the Yard.
A lot of managers, and Ned Yost is one of them, likes to have a hitter like Gerard Dyson batting ninth. It's like a second leadoff man. Hoping he can get on before the top of the order. Escobar and Moustakas to follow. And be a big distraction for Trevor Bauer. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Base hit, ball 4.
Still 3-2. Royals scored first. Alex Gordon homered in the second inning. The Indians tied it in the second inning on Michael Bourne's 2-run single. And then with 2 outs in the fourth inning, Omar Infante drove in Kendrys Morales. Long run for Chisenhall, and he brings it down right in front of the tarp. Much nicer night tonight. It was brutally cold last night with that wind blasting in off of Lake Erie. Just a gentle breeze tonight. And because of the early start, still plenty of sunshine as the Royals bat in the 5th inning. Alcides Escobar is grounded sharply to third, and he has walked. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Pitch stayed up. Moss fades back in right field and runs it down. So Escobar's had a couple of tough luck outs tonight. 2 down.
Stepping in for the Royals, number 8, Mike Moustakas.
And now Bauer will get Mike Moustakas with 2 down. Moustakas singled to left in the first inning. And he grounded into a double play in the third. He is 5 for 7 in this series.
A couple of breaking balls in a row there. Don't want to throw anything straight to Moose. He knows he's hot. Made a nice pitch on him though, and that last time Moose came up there, tied him up and couldn't get anything going, rolled him into a double play.
That's hit well. Santana, the former catcher, smothers it and goes to the bag as Bauer has his first 1-2-3 inning. 2-2 as Cleveland comes to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, and their runs scored on Michael Bourne's 2-out 2-run single in the 2nd inning. This time Jeremy Guthrie gets him on 1 pitch.
Stepping in for the try, second baseman Jason Kipnis.
Indians got their 2 runs first time through the order, which has been troublesome for Guthrie early in the season. Second time through, much better. And true to form, the Indians are without a hit second time through the order, now starting 3rd time through. Jason Kipnis has walked and grounded out to first base. Two and two.
Kipnis is a big key to this Indians offense. Ty Van Berkeley, their hitting coach, told me yesterday that he started the season, he's been good. He says he's just had some bad luck. Coming into today's game, he's hitting 240. But he said he's hit a lot of atom balls. I mean, right on the screws, just no luck.
Three and two on Kipnis. Guthrie has 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. On the ground to Hosmer. And Hosmer going to the bag himself.
Wondering what Hosmer was looking at. He picked up the ball. It looked like he looked at Escobar. A little confusion there, but nobody hurt. You see him look that way?
Yeah.
There's nobody on. Oops.
Guthrie's retired 6 straight. And he's retired 8 of 9. He's gotten Jose Ramirez twice with a strikeout and a fly out to center field. 3-0. And he really wants to get Ramirez here with Michael Brantley on deck. Brantley is doubled and lined to center against Guthrie tonight. Base hit right field. So he fell behind Ramirez and wanted to make sure he threw him a strike, and Ramirez is on with 2 outs.
The battle for the Indians, left fielder Michael Brantley.
So 2 good swings for Brantley tonight, with a double to right center and the line out to center field. And there are his hot zones, and pretty typical for a left-hand batter. Down and in. That's normally a hot zone.
They're coming right down in there. At least Salvi's looking for it. Oh man, that's close.
Eric Hosmer turned quickly and looked into the Royals dugout, and Ned Yost comes to the top step.
All right. That look got Ned looking, and Billy DuPlessis, the replay video coordinator inside, said, let's try it. There's the
Contact.
got him.
Contact there. Is the hand on the bag yet? No, 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 no. There. Yeah.
Look at Haas. He already knows it. Shows him that. That's the advantage of having a left-handed first baseman right there. Guthrie, pinpoint accuracy on that baby. Boy, I'm telling you, this would be nice. Get out of the inning here, not having to face Brantley with a man on.
Both Ramirez and Sandy Alomar Jr., they're looking up at the big video board, because most stadiums will show what we think are the same replays that the umpires in New York are taking a look at, but as of right now, nothing up on the board. Is it clear and convincing?
It was, even from the first base camera, when we couldn't see his hand on the bag. Jeremy Guthrie, good athlete, has a really good move. 12 pickoffs in his career. This hopefully will be his second, and he is safe.
Whoa.
Nope.
The call stands. Now, as far as the game goes, it really doesn't matter the specifics of the judgment, because Ramirez is at first, but what the call stands means is that there was no evidence one way or the other whether the call in the field was right. So you just defer back to Jerry Meals' call. Tell you what, I thought I saw that he was out, but there really didn't seem to be a perfect angle of it.
So what does Guthrie do? He throws over immediately again.
Ramirez runs. Get him. Got him at second base. Thank you, Jose Ramirez. And now Terry Francona is out of his dugout.
But they're working hard to get that young man out. Francona's saying, hey, we might want to take a look at that. Nah, we concede. He's out. Salvi from his knees threw a dart. Now, I don't know if Escobar got him on the first tag, but he overslid. Got him on the second tag.
Padres Morales coming up in our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant tonight is Linda Turner from Ottawa. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Linda gets $1,600. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Linda wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Those two are almost identical, with the exception of strikeouts. Guthrie has 3, and Bauer, who is a strikeout pitcher, only has 1.
Well, Bauer, I'm sure he knows it's pitching to a team that doesn't strike out very much. The Royals, they put the ball in play.
Lorenzo has flied to center and flied to left.
Royals have struck out 107 times this season. That's the fewest in Major League Baseball. The next closest team in Major League Baseball is the Braves with 124 strikeouts. So Royals just have struck out 107 times. So, you know, big difference. A strikeout's a strikeout.
Over the outside, Bauer strikes out his second.
Lorenzo Cain wasn't sure about the location here on this one. Might have been right. Looked off the grid.
Eric Hosmer singled in the first inning and flied to center in the fourth. 1-1. Bauer is at 80 pitches. Jeremy Guthrie is at 82 pitches. "24-year-old Trevor Bauer, still young. He was the first-round pick of the Diamondbacks in 2011, and then the next year, the end of the next year, he was traded to Cleveland. And some thought that the Diamondbacks didn't like the fact that Bauer at times seemed to be on his own program. And we talked earlier about his engineering mind, studying biomechanics, and has been really training himself for a long time. Diamondbacks wanted him to make some changes. He wasn't so open to those changes. Chisenhall all by himself on the left side, dives and throws out Eric Hosmer. That's a second good play he's had tonight.
Hosmer's probably saying, "What are you doing over there? That's a base hit." But Chisenhall has a nice throwing arm too. He's able to get to his feet quickly. Well, you know, that's awfully early and not enough time to give up on a guy. Wouldn't you think? Only 1 year. I mean, they had to understand that there is a maturity level that certain guys, you know, I mean, you're young, you're coming in, it's going to take you some time. Figure some things out.
And when he came to Cleveland, he was a little resistant at first, but a couple of off seasons ago started implementing some of the suggestions of Mickey Callaway and the Indians coaching staff as Morales rams it into the right field corner, trying for 2, and he is safe. And I don't know if Jose Ramirez was motioning to his dugout, thinking that they may have gotten Kendrys Morales.
He left the box right away in a hurry. Told me he thought it was going to stay fair. It did. I don't know why Kipnis cut this ball, because it was going to be right on the money, but he did. Thank you. Tag was high. Morales, 6th double. Ties Lorenzo Cain for the team lead in doubles.
And it gives him a 2-hit game. Morales has hit safely in 18 of the Royals' 20 games. And he's batting at .317. Alex Gordon, another base hit. Morales will be waved home. Moss comes up throwing, and it's offline. Bauer is backing up the wild throw. And Alex Gordon with his 2nd RBI tonight puts the Royals back out in front.
Morales scoring his 2nd run all the way from second base. Again, Alex hits it off the end of his bat. Didn't hit it really hard, which was good because it gave Morales enough time to score. But Alex finding the hole, starting to heat up. 2-out rally, another 2-out RBI. The Royals continue to pressure teams and break their back. They're not done yet.
That is 37 2-out RBIs for the Royals this year. Two more of those tonight. So Alex is homered, walked, and singled with a couple of runs driven in. Salvador Perez is 0 for 2. Now Alex runs, and Brett Hayes' throw is right on the money. But damage done. The 2nd time tonight, Alex Gordon's RBI puts the Royals in front. Our sprint cuts of the game. Jeremy Guthrie has struck out 3 tonight, and 2 of those strikeouts ending the inning. Brandon Moss in the 3rd inning, Brett Hayes in the 4th. Guthrie has walked only 2. Neither has turned into a run after walking 6 in his previous start. And I'm still trying to figure out, after, I think the Indians, there we go, base hit right field. After the Indians benefited from just no clear replay, I think Jose Ramirez was picked off. And Michael Brantley coming up. Ramirez tries to run. The Royals gun him down with Brantley at the plate. And now Brantley, all he can do is lead off the inning with a single.
Hard to figure. Ramirez runs pretty well, but Escobar was alertly on the tag over the base.
Carlos Santana has grounded to Hosmer and walked. And Guthrie misses high, ball one. Well, if you go by the previous numbers, I like the Royals' chances. The Royals are 13-2 this year when they score 3 or more runs. And the Indians are 0-11 when they allow 3 or more runs.
Hope it stays that way.
2-1 on Santana. Guthrie is at 86 pitches. Good movement. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Finnegan warming up with Brandon Moss on deck. And then Murphy and Chisenhall behind him, all left-hand batters. And Guthrie moving up on 90 pitches.
Santana coming out of his shoes. Good setup pitch for the changeup away. 3-2 here. He's better throw it for a strike, though.
Ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. And all the left-hand batters coming up. And Ned Yost is out of the dugout. So to this point, it's a good start for Guthrie. Mainly because he has had more trouble against the Indians than any other team in his career, with an ERA over 6. So he's allowed 2 runs, but he's responsible for Brantley and Santana. And Ned Yost points to Brandon Finnegan for the first time this year. Chevy called to the bullpen. Royals lead by 1 in the 6th inning. Jeremy Guthrie leaning on the game's best bullpen as he departs with 2 on, nobody out in the 6th inning. And Brandon Finnegan makes his season debut, pitching as a starter at AA Northwest Arkansas. And a combined 7 innings. The Royals, even though they sent him down to stretch out as a starter, they really wanted to be easy on him. He had a very long season with a full college season, which extended into the College World Series, then signed by the Royals, then into the postseason, and of course becoming the first player ever to pitch in the College World Series and the Major League World Series in the same year.
Quite an accomplishment. Whenever you're the first guy ever, hopefully he'll be able to come in here and help Ned out. That's what he wants. Nobody out, facing a dangerous hitter in Moss. Fastball, slider. Those are his pitches he'll use. Fastball, his go 93, 94.
Off of Sal's glove.
Hard to understand what happened here. Fastball up. Salvi just didn't quite glove it. Maybe he didn't see it right. Hit it right off the...
Or maybe expecting another pitch?
Thumb, yeah. Right off the thumb. That's rare that happens. Nobody out, 2nd and 3rd. Changes the scenario here.
It's a pass ball. Moss is 1 for 2 with an infield single and a run scored. Broke his bat. 1-1. Remember, you can follow live Royals baseball with the MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Royals all season, all postseason, wherever you are with the MLB.tv game of the day. In-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Just browse the app's new features, including StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. High and deep into right center field, and gone. Brandon Moss has hit a 3-run home run, and the Cleveland Indians have regained the lead.
Fastball out over the plate. Perfectly located for Moss. Got extended, got up underneath it, and we've seen that from his bat before.
It's on Finnegan's 3rd pitch of the season. And now Ryan Rayburn is going to bat for David Murphy.
Ball was elevated. Belt high. Almost the middle of the plate. Moss was sitting on it. Got it.
On the ground to Moustakas. 1 down. 2 of those runs are charged to Guthrie. So he gives up 4 runs in 5+ innings. And now Finnegan will pitch to Lonnie Chisenhall. Crack bat. Escobar not able to catch up to it, and Chisenhall has his 2nd hit. Well, one challenge when you face the Cleveland Indians is trying to keep their powerful left-hand bats in the ballpark. The Indians have hit 17 home runs this year and 11 off the bat of left-hand batters. And Brandon Moss tags Finnegan and the Royals with a 3-run shot in the 6th inning. Brandon Moss in that wild card loss for his team against the Royals hit 2 home runs and drove in 5. 2-run home run and a 3-run home run. Almost single-handedly won that game. Brett Hayes is lined to second and struck out looking. Inside, 1-2.
Hitters sometimes don't get the whole meat of the bat on the ball. He gives up a lot of cheap base hits, what pitchers call it. A lot of doinkers. Playoffs last year, Finnegan gave up a few hits, and a lot of those weren't balls that were hit hard at all. There's that nice hard downward breaking slider. He has a changeup that he'll use too, if he has to. He's mainly fastball slider now out of the bullpen.
Played off the slider, 2-2. You and I did a spring training game against the Chicago White Sox, and we got a preview of Chicago's Carlos Rodon, their first-round pick out of North Carolina State. Rodon and Finnegan were college teammates on Team USA, and that's where Finnegan learned his slider. Moustakas calls for it. 2 down. And that was the pitch that got Brandon Finnegan drafted in the first round by the Royals last year and became the first Royals draft pick to make it to the big leagues in the same season since 1993, when the Royals took Jeff Granger out of Texas A&M, and he got to the big leagues that same season. You probably faced Jeff Granger.
Name sounds familiar. Rodon might be in that White Sox rotation now with the suspension of the Sale and Samardzija.
1-1 on Bourne. Michael Bourne hit a 2-run single back in the 2nd inning. Scott Atchison looks like he's ready to go for the top of the 7th inning in relief of Trevor Bauer. Two and one. Three and one. And now a walk, putting 2 on for Kipnis. The home run hit by Moss is only the 2nd home run allowed by a Royals reliever this year. Moss has driven in 3. He has scored twice. And now Jason Kipnis. Kipnis is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls tonight. He is batting at .234, but Hud was saying a couple of innings ago that he's had a lot of hard outs, a lot of hard hit outs. That is a dead ball that hit Jason Kipnis. Chisenhall was thinking about scoring from second base, but a breaking ball hit Kipnis to load the bases.
Command a little bit off, obviously. For Finnegan, Dave Island's going to come out and see if he can help him out. Looks like it just grazed off his jersey. Hard to tell from that angle, but
see if you hear a little click before it hits Salvi's glove. I thought I heard something.
Yep.
So they're loaded up for Jose Ramirez with Michael Brantley on deck. Low for ball one. Ramirez is the 9th man to bat in the inning. Chisenhall is at third. He singled. Bourne at second. He walked. Kipnis is at first. He was hit by a pitch. And Ramirez is 1 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got to hold him here if you can. Royals have the ability to come back. They're nowhere even close to panic mode. Royals have 8 come from behind wins out of their 13.
Two and one. Grounded up the middle. Escobar fields and goes to the bag to limit the damage. On one swing, Brandon Moss gives the Indians a 5-3 lead. To you by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit yourmidwestforddealers.com. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. 5-3 Cleveland to the 7th inning. Tough inning for Brandon Finnegan. He is charged with just the 1 run, but he gave up the 3-run home run to Moss, and now the Indians to their pen. A Chevy call to the bullpen, and Scott Atchison is on for the 9th time this year, and Salvador Perez greets him with a base hit to right field.
First fastball he saw, it was elevated. It looked like he had in mind to go to hit that hole the whole way. Nice job getting on. Atchison 89-93 with his fastball. He has a cutter in on lefties, and curveball and changeups he'll work.
Omar Infante tied the game at 2 with a 2-out RBI single in the 4th inning. Two and 0. Mark Zepchinski throwing behind Atchison. We saw Zepchinski last night. All the way to the wall in left field. Second hit for Omar Infante. And the Royals have runners at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out.
How many times early this season have we seen Salvador Perez lead off an inning where the Royals had a rally? And here it comes again. Infante turned on that piece of cheese inside. That ball was 2 inches on the inner half of the plate, pulled his hands in nicely, and laced it down the left field line. 6th double on the year for Infante.
The Indians bring the corners in for Gerard Dyson, and Dyson taps it out in front of the mound, out with no advance from Perez or Infante. And now Mickey Callaway is out to have a chat with Atchison. An open base with 1 out, and Mike Moustakas on deck.
Dyson not happy about that. He'd like to make some contact and knock the run in a little bit harder anyway. Make one of the middle infielders field it, but couldn't quite get it done.
And now Brian Shaw joins Zepchinski in the bullpen.
The hitter for Kansas City, the shortstop,
Escobar is 0 for 2 with a walk. His 2 outs are a sharply hit ground ball to 3rd where Chisenhall made a good play, and a line out to right field. Down and away, ball 1.
You know, maybe Salvador Perez should bat leadoff, because leading off an inning, he's hitting .500. He's 7 for 14. Middle infielders are back. They're conceding a run, and they're back for a reason, because they want to give them the biggest chance of making the play. They got more range.
So they will trade a run for an out. Escobar is 1 for 6 against his pitcher. He didn't mean to do it, and now down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last night's game, Escobar was off of his. offensively. He's pulling his head off, trying to yank, trying to pull everything. See if he can keep his shoulder closed right here. A little two-strike approach and just try to hit the ball to right field. Slap it in there.
2-2. Mentioned some bad luck for Escobar tonight, but he is still just 2 for his last 20. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch right there, he was swinging at last night. The Indians were staying down and away with sliders and curveballs, and Escobar was chasing. He was also chasing that pitch quite a bit in the Chicago series, but he's been able to lay off it here against Atchison, and now 3-2. Base hit right field. Perez scores, Infante scores, and Alcides Escobar ties the game with a double.
What a fine piece of hitting. When I saw Brett Hayes, the catcher, move inside, I'm going, oh, watch out, Esky. He missed. Now, if he puts it where Hayes wants it, he might get a swing and miss. But since he missed, Escobar got him. Yes, nice job of waiting. Nothing like last night's swing. Kept his shoulder closed, short to the ball, and voila. Ties it up. Salvi getting the inning going again. Tito's probably saying, man, how do you stop these guys? They just keep coming.
Zepchinski in to face Moustakas. Cleveland had just taken the lead 5-3. The Royals come back with 2, and they have the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out. Hey fans, Fox Sports Kansas City invites you to join current and former Royals players on the field July 23rd for Royals Charities Diamond of Dreams, presented by Bank of Kansas City. Enjoy a menu from local restaurants, live music, and a fireworks show, all for charity. Buy your tickets now at Royals.com/Diamond of Dreams. Zepchinski throws a strike to Mike Moustakas. Moustakas singled last night against Zepchinski. That was his 4th hit of the game. And it makes Moustakas 3 out of 7 against his pitcher.
Got to watch for that breaking ball. He's going to hook it away from Moose. Not overpowering, but 87 to 92. Decent fastball. Moose hitting .263 with runners in scoring position coming into this game.
2-1. Zepchinski gave up a couple of hits in the top of the 9th inning last night. Also struck out 2 in a scoreless inning. And in that inning, the Royals already led by 4. Tonight, he comes in with the go-ahead run at second base in the 7th. And it's now 3-1 on Moustakas.
Look at him eyeballing. Waiting for his pitch.
Full count. Lorenzo Cain is on deck, and Brian Shaw's warming up in the Indians bullpen. Moustakas hit 6 of his 15 home runs against the Indians last year. Off the plate, Santana to Zepchinski, and he missed the bag, and here comes Escobar, and he kicked the ball loose, and Moustakas will go down to second base.
The running Royals, pressuring defenses with their style of play. Moustakas with a chopper.
The Indians think they got an out at first base. At least the guys on the field think they got an out at first base.
He missed the base.
Well, Jerry Meals had a great look at it.
Sure did. You see how Zepchinski tried to retouch? Thankfully, Moose is okay. And then a great pickup at first base. Watch him. Zepchinski missed. He tried to get it again. Safe call. And Brett Hayes with a great pickup and throw at the plate here. He picked it. And then Escobar's hard slide knocked it out.
Whoa. And coming up limping.
Very, very nice hands by Hayes.
Remember that left knee?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that left knee stuck in the dirt as he was sliding. It is a single.
Boy, you hope this holds. They're challenging the play at first base, but we look like, you know, he stepped on the base or just an inch off of the base. Just missed it. But again, it's the pressure. It's the pressure the Royals put on you. Now, did he touch the base here with his right foot? That's what's in review.
Or did he get it? No.
Yeah, Moose had already touched the base by the time he touched. Then he tripped Moose. Moose with a nice athletic roll went on to second base. Jerry Meals, he's looking right at it.
They're going to score it right now, a single. So it's Moustakas' 6th hit of the series, an RBI and an error 2, allowing Moustakas to go to second base, which is kind of a curious scoring, because if you're going to charge Brett Hayes with an error, then how does Mike Moustakas get an RBI? Because if Brett Hayes hangs on to it, Escobar is out at the plate, right?
That's the way I see it, but when you're going good, you're going good. Moose can't do any wrong now.
So they'll walk Cain, and set up Zepchinski and Hosmer. Gosh, the Royals have made a habit out of this over the past 3 years, scoring right after their opponents score, and in this case taking the lead after a 3-run bottom of the 6th. The Royals have a 3-run top of the 7th.
Gotta love the pressure they put on you. Now they wanted to make a force, set up the double play by intentionally walking Kane. However, Hosmer could make him pay for it.
Foul up the left field side. 1-1 on Hosmer.
Right idea. Thinking opposite field, waiting to see the ball longer.
And that's what he did last night against Zepchinski. He had a single to left field. That was Chris Young warming up in the Royals bullpen, or at least standing on the mound. Out at second base, and no attempt at a double play as Kipnis lost the grip. Moustakas goes to third. Kane is out at second base, and Hosmer is at first.
For Kansas City. Now hitting the designated hitter, Henry Morales.
Kipnis couldn't get it out of his glove. Wouldn't have doubled him up anyway, I don't believe.
And now Terry Francona will make the call for Shaw with Kendrys Morales coming up. Royals have 3 in the 7th inning to regain the lead, 6-5. And while we have a moment, let's revisit Alex's home run in our ATT U-verse rewind. A long home run, 428 feet to right field against Trevor Bauer back in the 2nd inning, and that follow-through reminded you of somebody.
That's right, Will the Thrill. Look at that now. Will went to the opposite field. He's a little more upright, but Alex Gordon opened up his hips, but very similar follow-through. A pretty swing.
Is that P-U-R-D-Y?
That's Southern style. Pretty. Pretty sounds too pretty for baseball.
Will Clark was from Mississippi State.
That's right.
That was a swing by Morales facing Brian Shaw. Trying to close out this inning. The Indians bullpen suffers its third blown save of the year. They had a 2-run lead when this inning began. Now the Royals lead by 1. Brian Shaw last year pitched 8 2/3 scoreless innings against the Royals. That's hit well to right center field. Deep and gone. A 3-run home run for Kendrys Morales. And the Royals lead 9-5 in the 7th inning. (9-5). Kendrys Morales hitting a 3-run home run to cap that 6-run 7th inning. 1 inning after Brandon Moss hit a 3-run home run for the Indians.
And it looked like Morales is a little off balance because of the breaking ball, but man, I'll tell you what, he put it all into that one.
So Chris Young will come out of the Royals bullpen, and the plan now is for Chris Young to start on Saturday against the Tigers, or start on Friday. Edison Volquez will pitch on Saturday because of the suspension. This is day 2 of his serving of that suspension after the brawl in Chicago. And Ned Yost had said he would like to start Chris Young if he could stay away from him. I don't think this changes that plan. I think Ned was more thinking along the lines if he had to use Chris Young as a long reliever. Ned will probably only see Chris for 1 inning, so this would be the equivalent of his bullpen session in between starts. And Michael Brantley takes a strike from Young. Brantley started the 3-run 6th inning with a single. Then Santana walked. That was against Guthrie. Brandon Finnegan came on, and Brandon Moss hit a 3-run home run. Infante, a flashy little flip from his glove to his throwing hand. 1 down to get Michael Brantley to begin the bottom of the 7th. And while Finnegan didn't have his A game tonight, it could have been a lot worse after he hit Jason Kipnis. The Indians had the bases loaded with 2 down in the 6th inning, but he got Jose Ramirez to ground into a force out, keeping it at a 2-run game, and the Royals took him off the hook with a 6-run top of the 7th inning. And a strike to Carlos Santana. Santana has walked twice and scored a run. I wonder if Ned Yost will say after the game that this was an ideal situation for Chris Young, to get him in the game, get him some work leading up to that start we think we will see on Friday against Detroit.
I wouldn't doubt it. Everything seems to be going right.
Shallow right. Dyson tried to trap it and knocks it back toward the infield. And Carlos Santana has his first hit, and he's on for the 3rd time tonight.
Nice effort. You could really see Dyson gaining on the ball, picking up speed, but good try.
And now Brandon Moss. Moss has a home run, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored tonight. And Chris Young had him fooled. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a bold statement when a hitter wears number 44, because some of the greatest power hitters of all time have worn that number. And Brandon Moss has sure been like a number 44 against the Royals. He is a Georgia native, and he wears that in honor of maybe the best number 44, Henry Aaron. Salvador Perez. Ball almost popped out of his glove, but he hangs onto it. 2 down.
I can think of a few, I think now. Maybe I'm wrong, but Willie McCovey. Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson.
That's all I can come up with.
Luke Hochevar.
Well, he might have hit for some power in Little League.
Outside to Ryan Rayburn. High and deep to left field. And Alex has room, and that's the inning. So Chris Young gets some work out of the Royals bullpen and holds the Indians scoreless to the 8th inning. Royals lead by 4. 9-5 as they come up in the top of the 8th inning. And as promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Salvador Perez hitting 500 leading off innings, gets it started again. You can feel it coming. Infante with his 6th double wrapped it off the wall. And then Escobar picked out a piece of cheese, sliced it down the right field line, ties it up. Nice piece of hitting there. And then Moose shows, say, look, I can run too. Made it close at first base, actually got a base hit. Zepchinski missed the bag. And then here comes Escobar. Looked like he was out, but no. Hard late slide up on the arm of Hayes, knocked it loose. And there you go. Morales with the big bomb. 420-footer. Might have put the icing on the cake in game 2 here.
Anthony Swarzak, we've seen him with the Minnesota Twins. He is appearing for the 8th time with Cleveland. And he is their 5th pitcher tonight. The Royals have scored on each of the first 4 pitchers. They got 3 against Trevor Bauer, 3 against Atchison, 2 against Zepchinski, and 1 against Shaw. And here's Salvador Perez again leading off an inning. Broken bat, base hit. Another multi-hit game for Salvador Perez, and once again leading off an inning with a base hit.
And that bat died a hero. Shattered in many pieces there. Hitter will exchange a broken bat for a base hit any day. You know, last year there was so many close games, so many one-run games, because the Royals didn't hit for a lot of power. Now you put Morales in there, you know, you get a little bit more sock in there behind Hosmer.
Indians turn a double play with Omar Infante at the plate, 2 down.
And they're able to pop a home, a 3-run homer. That takes the pressure off the back end of the bullpen.
And now Dyson with 2 down, nobody on. 0 for 3 tonight. Remember we were talking about famous number 44s.
That's right.
Last half inning. Don't forget Ahmad Abdul Rahim. You remember him?
Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. No, I don't know. I can't remember.
That doesn't ring a bell for you?
Not really.
Well, you might be a little old for that. Jason Frazier, number 54, warming up in the bullpen. Anybody in the truck remember Ahmad Abdul Rahim?
I think it was a movie. Had to be.
Yes. Bad News Bears.
Oh, there
Come
you
on,
go.
remember? And he wore it because he was a Hank Aaron fan.
Too old for that. I saw that, but I just can't remember the guy's name.
Well, it's Ahmad Abdul Rahim.
Thank you.
3-1 on Dyson. And there's his first hit of the night. So in the first 2 games of the series, the Royals have had 13 hits and 14 hits.
Stepping in for the Royals, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar.
And last night, 8 of 9 in the starting lineup had a base hit, and tonight 8 of 9 in the starting lineup have a base hit. Lorenzo Cain is the only Royal hitless, and he's been on with a walk. Strike to Escobar. He was part of the 6-run 7th inning with a 2-run double, which tied the game.
That big hit Escobar knocked in, those two, gave him 8 RBIs in the season. That was the hit of the game, in my opinion. That kept it going. A missed location. Brett Hayes wanted the pitch inside. He left it out over. And Escobar kept his hands pulled in, his head on it, shoulder tucked, and laced it down the right field line.
Up the middle and into center field. Well, we were talking about Escobar in that last night and in the Chicago series. The pitchers are really getting him to go after pitches out of the strike zone. He was 0 for 2 before his double in the 7th inning, but both balls were hit hard. And now he has a double and a solid base hit into center field.
Here's the big hit in the 7th inning. We'll watch it. Oh, man. That was beautiful. Escobar making some adjustments from last night. Dale Swaim said same thing I was saying. He's just trying to do too much last night. He was pulling off the ball, trying to get him back on it, keeping his thoughts towards the opposite field, and it's worked. Lots of times it's just one hit, one base hit can turn you around. Confidence starts to come. All of a sudden your mechanics are right. Seeing the ball again. That second base hit by Escobar will bode well for tomorrow's game. Moose, a couple more hits tonight. First at bat, base hit left field, and then he earned the second one. Got a little help from the score. Infield single.
Royals 5 out of 9 with runners in scoring position. They have only left 4 runners on base in 7 innings.
Again, Gerard Dyson in the back of the mind of Swarzak.
One and 2 on Moustakas. Dyson takes off, and it's fouled away. Dyson last night had 3 stolen bases, and 2 of those were steals of third. Running again, and Moustakas strikes out to end the inning. To the bottom of the 8th, 9-5 Royals.
Looking good for the boys in blue here and around the major leagues. Panera shows us the scores. Detroit and Minnesota early on. Toronto all over Boston. Yankees beating Tampa Bay. Masahiro Tanaka, though, will be going on the disabled list. And Seattle and Texas scoreless early on. Our Mazda game break takes us to that always riveting and thrilling highlight of a balk. And a run is going to score. One of two balks on the inning for Edward Mujica. Don't see that too often. Run scores, and the Red Sox are really struggling. Clay Buchholz, 2 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He has a 5.76 ERA.
I agree that was a balk, but it's a balk that's hardly called, and called because Mujica, I guess, did not come set.
So don't see that too often, and you're right. Not as rare, though, as the rare balk-off, which we saw.
Which we've seen.
Was that Aaron?
Chicago.
Aaron Crow?
Aaron Crow. Yeah. A.J. Pierzynski was the runner at third. Jason Frazier with a strike to Lonnie Chisenhall.
We saw a balk, walk, and a knock here in our game.
Yes, we did. One and two on Chisenhall. He has a 2-hit game and a run scored. Back and forth game tonight. Chisenhall scored his run back in the second inning. Chisenhall, Hayes, and Bourne against Frazier. Back to Frazier.
Frazier, it takes some.
That wasn't easy.
Cat-like reflexes to grab that one. Escobar might have had a play on it. Better help yourself.
Now Brett Hayes. Good slider in for a strike. The right field line and back into the crowd. 0-2 on Brett Hayes. So here's our back and forth. Royals score 1 in the second. The Indians get 2 in the second. The Royals tie it in the fourth. They take the lead in the sixth. Cleveland gets 3 to take the lead in the bottom of the sixth. And then a 6-run 7th inning for the Royals. The last 3 coming on a Kendrys Morales 3-run home run. One and two on Hayes.
See Salvi, he wanted that ball up out of the zone to set up this next slider coming.
Two down. Set him up with a slider and put him away with a splitter.
Yeah, how about that? Great location. But it was all set up by that high fastball in the previous pitch. Oh, dirty.
So 2 down to Michael Bourne. Slider for a strike. Bourne hit a 2-out, 2-run single back in the second inning that gave Cleveland their first lead of the night. And now a splitter fading away. So you got a pitch that breaks into the left-hand batter, followed by a pitch at pretty much the same speed and kind of a similar tilt breaking away from a left-hand batter.
He didn't throw that pitch very much at all last season. This year he's using it. Excellent placement.
Michael Bourne had been 6 for his previous 43 and dropping down in the Indians order from leadoff down to number 9, and then drove in the 2 runs in the second inning. I really thought that was a great signing by the Indians a couple of years ago, and they got Michael Bourne, reminding me of all those years when they had Kenny Lofton leading off and playing center field and zipping around the bases. But the Indians have not seen the National League version of the Michael Bourne very often.
And when they did that, they moved Brantley, who was a center fielder, over to left field. Brantley's a center fielder.
Still 2-2. Michael Bourne in the National League won 2 Gold Gloves. He won 3 stolen base titles. He has had some pretty severe hamstring problems since coming to Cleveland, one of them requiring surgery, and that his legs, that's his bread and butter. And now he muscles one into deep right field, but Dyson using his legs to run it down. Why do I have a feeling there's going to be some trash talking between those two tomorrow?
Let's see if he can get through a start without any cramps or any incidences that go on. But man, I'll tell you what, be looking forward to seeing him pitch. Danny Salazar, a couple of young guys that throw hard.
Same time tomorrow with Hy-Vee Royals Live beginning at 4:30 Central, and the first pitch at 5:10 back in KC. Coming up after the game tonight, Boulevard Royals Live with Joel and Monty. Big night on offense for the Royals. A 15-hit game. 2 more hits for Mike Moustakas. Alex Gordon is homered. Kendrys Morales is homered. And if Lorenzo Cain can get a base hit here against Anthony Swarzak, all 9 Royals in the starting lineup will have at least 1 hit. Escobar has 2. Moustakas has 2. Hosmer 1. Morales 3. Gordon 2. Perez 2. Infante 2. Dyson 1. Ramirez will throw him out. Cain has been on base tonight with a walk, but he is hitless. 1 down in the 9th inning.
Now the hitter for Kansas City, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer's hit was back in the 1st inning, and then he reached on a force out in the 7th and scored on the Morales home run, and that's hit well to left field. Brantley is back to the track. He'll have to play it off the wall. So Eric Hosmer with the Royals' 16th hit and his 2nd of the game.
Now stepping into the plate for the Royals, the designated hitter, Kendrys Morales.
So the Royals with a season high 16 hits. Kendrys Morales has 3, including this Chrysler drive of the game back in the 7th.
And I'll tell you what, he leaned on that one. 420-foot bomb.
A single and a run scored in the 4th, a double and a run scored in the 6th, and a home run. He's got a chance. Well, he's going to really have to run. Did he get around it? He did not. So Hosmer is out 1-6-5. And Morales falls a triple shy of hitting for the cycle.
The batter for Kansas City, number 4, Alex Gordon.
What a difference he's made.
Blocked by Hayes. Ball 1 to Alex. We'll see Johan Pino in the bottom of the 9th inning. Last Royals cycle, 1990. George Brett in Toronto at then Sky Dome, now Rogers Center. Was it last year or the year before? Billy Butler was a single away from a cycle in Baltimore.
I remember.
Maybe it was 3 seasons ago,
and I think he had 2 shots at it.
If Billy Butler hits a triple at Camden Yards, he has to get a cycle. But I think you're right. I think he had 2 shots to get a single.
Right, and I think he dumped the ball in front of Nick Markakis, and right, he dove, Markakis did, and it went to the wall.
Alex will take a walk. So he's been on base 4 times tonight.
He's getting hot. Starting to heat up just in the nick of time.
And that's Swarzak's first walk. Salvador Perez has a 2-hit game. And he got that 6-run 7 started with a single. Singled again in the 8th inning. 1-0. Dave Holtzman looked it up. August of 2012. And here's Billy's day at Baltimore. Home run, double, triple, strikeout, strikeout.
Oh, man.
That is blasted to left field and off the padded wall. Salvador Perez will drive in a run. He will hold with a long single as Morales scores his 4th run of the game. And the Royals have hit double digits. They lead 10-5 and now have a season high 17 hits.
You just can't hardly stop them. And it seems like they saved their best for the later part of the game. Ball down low at 92. Salvi. Nice little leg kick. Dropped the head of the bat. Long way to hit the ball for a lousy single, but he'll take it.
Omar Infante has 2 hits. He has Gordon at third, Perez at first. Infante has driven in a run. He has scored a run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infante didn't drive any runs, but he had a key hit in that 6-run 7th inning. The Royals are down by 2. Perez single, and you think, okay, good start. Infante doubles, and then all of a sudden you have the runner in scoring position, tying run in scoring position with nobody out. That really set the tone for that inning. And then Escobar had the 2-run double to tie it. Moustakas infield base hit and an RBI to put the Royals in front by 1. And then Morales with the home run to put him ahead by 4. And that is into the right field corner and foul. And with the Royals scoring a run against Anthony Swarzak in this inning, the Royals have now scored against each of the 5 pitchers that Terry Francona has run out there tonight. They got 3 off of Bauer, 3 off of Atchison, 2 off of Zepchinski, 1 against Shaw, and now 1 off of Swarzak. 3 and 2 on Infante. We should point out, while Kendrys Morales fell short of hitting for the cycle by scoring a run in the 9th inning, that is a new career high for him. 4 runs scored in 1 game. Perez is on the move, and Infante hits it out to shallow center field, and that's down for a hit. Gordon scores. Perez goes to third. 18 hits and 11 runs. And remember, the Royals were down by 2 when they batted in the 7th inning.
Had them right where they wanted them. Another strong finish. Francona brings in his long man Swarzak, hoping he can hold him and keep him right there, and it's not working. Some more frenzy style hitting is what we're witnessing. 1 through 9 in that lineup. Everybody but Lorenzo Cain has got the hit tonight.
Fouled away. Kipnis will run to the bag for the final out. And that's the inning. Royals get 2 more in the 9th inning and lead by 6 for Johan Pino. By 6. Our copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery inside Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, with producer Joe Lavero, director Steve Kurtenbach, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. And our statistician back in Kansas City. Don't forget, Fox Sports Live is coming up tonight on Fox Sports Kansas City and Fox Sports 1. You'll catch all the highlights on Boulevard Royals Live of this game, and then all the sports action coming up on Fox Sports Live. Our correspondent back in Kansas City, Royals Vice President Mike Swanson, recuperating from elbow surgery, pointed out to us by way of text that as we were having fun with Kendrys Morales being a triple shy of hitting for the cycle, that was the 10th time in his career that he was a triple shy of hitting for the cycle. And then Dave Holtzman reminds us that Kendrys only has 4 career triples.
It's the toughest one to get.
And of course, Paulo Orlando already has 5. Johan Pino in the 9th inning. I tell you what Kendrys Morales does have. If you're a switch hitter who hits for power as he does, at some point you're going to have a game or games where you hit home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game, right?
How many of those does he have?
Well, I don't know how many of those he has, but I can tell you that in 2012 he hit a home run from both sides of the plate in the same inning.
Wow.
That was at the Rangers. Jason Kipnis, Jose Ramirez, and Michael Brantley in the bottom of the 9th inning. Very close, and Sal tried to pull it up into the strike zone. That one was in the strike zone. No pulling into it needed. And a strikeout for Pino.
Johan Pino, man, I'll tell you, every time he toes the slab here in the big leagues, he's given everything he's got. And that's a beautiful pitch at the knees. Kipnis has got to go. Pino, a 10-year minor leaguer. That's 2 on Ned's roster that have had to endure 10 years of minor league baseball just to become a big leaguer. I'd tip my cap to this guy, too. Paulo Orlando's the other.
Pino didn't get to the big leagues until last year in his 11th professional season.
And he's been through some seasons. I mean, some cities. I mean,
I told you how to pronounce this thing 2 or 3 times.
I handed you the book. Please, you do it.
All right. So he started with the Dominican Twins, so at their academy in the Dominican Republic. Pino is from Venezuela. All right, let's all say it together. Elizabethton.
Okay, that's Tennessee, right?
Okay. Beloit, Fort Myers, 3 seasons at AA New Britain, Rochester. Then he changed organizations. He came to the Indians organization and was at Columbus for a couple of years. That's AAA. And that pitch was very close. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Then Akron to the Blue Jays system, New Hampshire for 2 years, Las Vegas, then the Reds organization. Hit very well to right field, but in the ballpark, and Dyson for the 2nd straight inning makes a play on the warning track. 2 down. The Reds organization, Pensacola and Louisville, back to the Twins where it all started, Rochester, and then to the big leagues.
A lot of traveling.
That is 18 different stops in 10 minor league seasons for Johan Pino. Popped up. Moustakas out, Gordon in, and the Royals have won their 5th series of the year. Kendrys Morales with a career-high 4 runs scored. He drove in 3. He was a triple shy of hitting for the cycle, leading the way as the Royals score 11 runs with a season-high 18 hits. Alex Gordon also homered tonight, and he drove in 2. 8 of the 9 Royals starters for the 2nd night in a row have at least 1 hit. Let's take a look at Kendry's night again.
Dangerous from either side of the plate. This guy is strong. I mean, he's got meat hooks for hands. His forearms are as big as a lot of guys' legs. He's just a beast. Anything out over the plate, you can't get it by him. Morales, big time home run right there. 3-run bomb. His 3rd on the season.
He's going to join Joel. Joel is trying to recruit a translator. Did you get somebody, Joel?
Oh, yeah, we're good. Christian was going to tell Kendrys to do it by himself. Kendrys said, no, I already did enough work tonight. All right, big win. Tell me about this offense, top to bottom, how good it was tonight.
Tremenda noche. Que le hable de la alineación que tiene Kansas City y cómo tú te sientes.
Bueno, estamos en una buena posición ahora, ¿no? Todo el mundo está ligando en el momento que tiene que ligar y nada, esperamos que nos sigan saliendo las cosas bien y para adelante.
He says right now everybody's clicking all cylinders, you know, they're seeing the ball well, and they're putting good at-bats together, and it's a professional group and an energetic group.
I was just told this is the 10th time that you have been a triple shy of the cycle. Were you thinking about it?
Que esta es la vez 10 que tú has dado en un juego, has dado todo menos el triple. Que si tú pensaste en el triple hoy.
Bueno, muy difícil, ¿no? Pero bueno, algún día saldrá, ¿no?
I said it's difficult, but one day maybe it'll happen.
Were you thinking triple?
¿Estabas pensando en triple o qué?
No estaba pensando, nada más estaba cogiendo una vez aparte y bueno, si sale, felicidades.
He wasn't thinking about the triple. He was just trying to put good at-bats together and then let it happen.
How much fun are you having with the Royals?
¿Cuánto te está gozando esto con Kansas City?
Bueno, un grupo bastante joven, ¿no? Yo creo que ese es el factor fundamental que nos está ayudando a nosotros. Mucha energía estamos teniendo dentro del clubhouse y fuera, y nos dejamos muy bien, especialmente.
He says that it's the energetic group.
There's Salvi. Oh, man, I think I got that one.
The worst of that.
See, the worst is when he doesn't bring the Gatorade bucket, when he's just tossing water. Anyway, what were you saying?
He just said that it's an energetic group, a lot of guys that get along here in and off the field, on the field and on and off the field, and he's just excited to be here, be a part of this.
Single, double, no triple. Homer, 4 runs, 3 RBIs, and a few raindrops here. Great job tonight, Kendrys.
Thank you.
Christian, thank you.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Salvi strikes a little bit. Ryan, he was being held up doing a radio interview, and he gets dangerous when he starts throwing those cups. All is well when there's water flying. It means the Royals have won. Boy,
you're not kidding, Joel. And, man, the Royals were down 5-3 going into the 7th inning, and they score 8 runs over the last 3. The Indians' best highlight tonight was this guy. That's not true. We'll be right back.